Welcome to MMAPlay365. I'm Newsome and I'm here to give you the Baze AI recap from last weekend's event from the UFC prediction software. Last weekend at UFC Vegas 63, we've got an absolute gem in here as well, which is an underdog gem also, which I'm not quite sure if we've had that before off the top of my head, but listen, it's an absolute phenomenal gem which we'll run through. But as always, we'll start with the value section. So this section is normally, there's a couple of different things we can talk about, but it's normally a fight where Baze AI has got the prediction incorrect, but said that the betting lines were so much closer to what the bookies were actually setting them at, to where there's going to be tremendous value even on the fighter that Baze AI isn't predicting to win. And that's the case in this one. We've got Steve Garcia versus Chase Hooper. Now, like I said, it was an incorrect prediction from Baze AI. Baze AI had Garcia winning at 47%. So, AI did favour Chase Hooper. And at 47%, odds implied is plus 113. And this is where it gets interesting, because Baze AI is saying that Steve Garcia should only be a plus 113, very, very slight underdog in this fight, and was basically saying that the bookies' odds were absolutely crazy because the bookies' odds actually had Steve Garcia at plus 275. So the difference between plus 113 to plus 275 is astronomical, and that's where Baze AI was sharp in this fight, because it said, look, Hooper should not be this big of a favourite. The fight's going to be much closer than what people think. And actually, it was on the flip side. It was quite a comfortable fight for Garcia, who did stop Chase Hooper very early in the fight as well. So listen, you can take this one a little bit further as well. You look at Steve Garcia by knockout, 37% Baze AI had him by knockout. Odds implied is plus 170. If you actually bet Garcia by knockout, you'd have got a plus 550 betting ticket. And again, just phenomenal. From the money line, sure, Baze AI didn't get the prediction correct, but if you're playing value, if you're using Baze AI to really hit these value spots, Garcia was an absolute value spot. It would have been a cash ticket whether you'd gone for the money line at plus 217 or by knockout at plus 550. So again, in my opinion, a solid job from Baze AI. And now we move on to the solid winners section. So the first one to talk about, this was actually the Baze AI Dog of the Week in the Dog of the Week package on the MMAPlay365 website. We've got Cody Durden versus Carlos Mota. Cody Durden to win Baze AI had at 58%. That's odds implied at minus 138. Minus 138, Baze AI was saying that Cody Durden should have been favoured at, which is heading towards a moderate favourite in my opinion. But you could have actually got a plus number on Durden. So again, around plus 140, plus 135, you could have got that plus money ticket. Again, if you're hitting those value spots, that's absolutely one of the value spots, because the AI was saying that the underdog should have been the favourite, and then when you watch the fight back, the underdog absolutely dominated, and Baze AI was proven right that he should have been the favourite. So yeah, Baze AI, solid prediction there. That was Baze AI's biggest underdog prediction on the entire event last weekend as well. Then we're moving into the next solid winner. We've got Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Vanderaa. Now, if you watch the fight, I know it was a little bit close. I know that Vanderaa was really hurting Waldo Cortes-Acosta with the low kicks, and it probably wasn't as dominant as what some people thought. However, the reason why I put it in the solid winners section here is because Baze AI had it at 70% for Waldo Cortes-Acosta to win the fight. This was the biggest number on the entire night, and to be honest with you, it was a decision that ended up being relatively comfortable for Waldo Cortes-Acosta, although there was some nervy moments in the fight. But at 70%, there's even value here as well. Odds implied on 70% is minus 233. You could have had Waldo Cortes-Acosta at minus 200. He did sink to like the minus 190 line at some point in fight week, and he did, there was some lines that were above minus 233 as well, but for the most part, you would have been able to get some value on that number from the odds implied from Baze's 70% prediction. So yeah, a solid winner, the highest percentage prediction from Baze AI on the night as well. Another good job by Baze. Moving on, main events, we've got Arnold Allen versus Calvin Kattar. Now, this is one where a lot of people actually ended up betting Calvin Kattar. And personally, I'm quite surprised. I bet Arnold Allen as an underdog, and obviously that line flipped and it went to a pick-em for the most part, but Allen, was a moderate favourite throughout fight week. But Allen to win, Baze AI had at 56%, which, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure exactly how Baze whips everything together in regards to the algorithms. Like, I understand the algorithms, but, in regards to actually putting all the data together, I was actually expecting Calvin Kattar to be favoured by Bayes AI. So for Arnold Allen to be 56%, you know, it was sort of confirmed my bet anyway for me. But also, like I said, it knew that Allen had some advantages in this fight. And listen, even though the fight ended in a very strange way, obviously another knee injury, we don't like to see it, you can't deny that Allen wasn't starting to really break his way into that round one and really look good. He had a speed advantage. He was landing on Kattar. He was hurting Kattar, stinging him as well with combinations. So you can't, although, like I said, anything could have happened in those additional 4 rounds in the fight, right? But from what we saw of Arnold Allen, he was looking really good. And, you know, that backed that up with Bayes. You know, Bayes AI said that Arnold Allen should be favoured, and it was looking like that from what we saw in the fight. And listen, I thought Allen was doing a phenomenal job, but at 56%, this is where you get some value. Odds implied, that's minus 127. And like I said, if you bet Allen early, you could have got around plus 110. That's the number I got on him. But he did end up getting down to like minus 110 as a pick, minus 115, minus 120, minus 125. And even at those numbers, there's still a little bit of value, just less value than what you would have got if you bet him early. So again, a solid prediction from Bayes AI, a solid winner, and some value also. And now we move into the gem. The underdog gem, we've got Roman Dolidze versus Phil Hawes. Roman Dolidze was actually my underdog of the week in the dog of the week package. For those that don't know, you do get 2 underdogs for $1.99 on the MMAPlay365 website. You get the highest predicted underdog from Bayes AI, and you get my best or favoured underdog on the night as well. And if both of those underdogs lose, we'll just give you your money back anyway. So that's the package. But anyway, back to the gem, Roman Dolidze versus Phil Hawes. Dolidze to win. Bayes AI also agreed with me that he was favoured to win. 53%. Now, odds implied on 53% is a very, very slight minus 113 favourite. However, you could have got Roman Dolidze on the money line at plus 150. You could have got him at plus 140, plus 145. There was plus 155. There was some real decent numbers on Roman Dolidze for a fighter that Bayes AI is saying should be a very, very, very slight favourite, but you're getting a plus 150 number on him. Ton of value there, yeah? Roman Dolidze to win inside the distance, 39%. So that's knockout and submission added together. Now, 39% odds implied, that's plus 156. I mean, this is nearly the line that I bet him at plus 150 inside the distance. However, if you'd actually bet inside the distance where you get your knockout, he's been knocking everybody out. He had a massive grappling advantage over Phil Hawes as well. So if you were a little bit unsure, is he going to use his raw power or is he going to go back to his grappling? You just take inside the distance to cover both bases. Plus 156 Bayes said he should have been. You would have got a plus 350 betting ticket. Then we're taking it one step further. Roman Dolidze via KO is 27%. KO TKO, 27% to finish the fight with his hands. Now at 27%, odds implied, that's plus 270. Odds implied from Bayes AI's prediction. You could have got a plus 500 betting ticket there. So not only are you playing value, but if you're really taking this down, and you know, Hawes does have questionable durability, a questionable chin. So the KO was absolutely live, 100%, after we saw what Dolidze did last time out to Kyle Dorcas. So whichever way that you really wanted to play this fight, whether you just wanted to play him straight because you like the plus money, whether you wanted to play inside the distance because you're unsure of the submission threat, which he almost and probably should have had the submission as well. When you watch the fight back, you'll know what I mean. Or if you just wanted to take the KO, which was the highest method of victory percentage, so the KO was higher than the submission. If you just wanted to go with Bayes AI on that for the good betting line, plus 500, listen, you'd have had value across the board. It was a gem. It was a solid prediction from Bayes AI. And don't forget, this was all on the underdog as well, who ended up cashing with relative ease. So again, super solid from Bayes AI. Really impressed with that one. And finally, we move into the bad losses category. Now, we're transparent here at MMAPlay365 with Bayes AI, and every now and again, we will get a fight where I look at the predictions and think, well, that's massively off, and then you watch the fight, and then the fight plays out like it's massively off as well. And listen, it's not often that it happens. It might be one fight every 2 or 3 events, but there was one this event, and you've got Christian Rodriguez versus Joshua Weems. And although it was a bad loss because, like I said, Base AI favoured Weems to win the fight, and personally I thought Rodriguez was going to run through him, and he did to an extent. But actually, you look at the data and you can actually understand a little bit why Base AI favoured Joshua Weems. He's beaten the better level of opponents. Rodriguez has had some difficulties in the past with his control, with being controlled on the mat. And you look at Rodriguez's previous opponents, the records and things like that, there's some fighters that are questionable in regards to the level of competition. However, knowing what we know of Christian Rodriguez, he's a solid fighter. And, Joshua Weems, I believe, was always going to be in real problems in this fight. Although he had some good moments with the takedowns, Rodriguez was the one that ended up finishing him. But Base AI had Weems at 57% to win. That's minus 133 odds implied. Weems was plus 300 on the betting line. So, there was, Base AI was saying there was huge value there. And if you are someone that was betting the value, that would have been a losing betting ticket because of that difference. And Rodriguez to win Base AI had at 43% odds implied. That's plus 133. But Rodriguez was minus 400. And this is where the bookies were absolutely right. And Base AI was, off on this one. But like I said, I kind of see where the algorithms were looking when you dig deeper into the fight. But ultimately, like I said, it was one that surprised me when I saw the predictions, to the point where I thought, yeah, that doesn't look like it's going to be one that wins, and it didn't. So listen, for all the good that Base AI does, every now and again there's going to be some off results. That was just one of them. But ultimately, a really good, solid job from Base AI at UFC Vegas 63, including that underdog gem as well. We'll be back again next week for another recap for this weekend's event at UFC Vegas 64. As always, interested to see what the predictions from Base AI, the UFC prediction software, is spinning out for this one this weekend. I'm Newsome. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again next week.